Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the question answers of the chapter The Stone of Class 6, and the book which I'm using is the Collins book publication. So the first question is, what pitiful sight made Mabon worry about his fate? So you can see my screen. So the first answer is, when Mabon was driving his horse, he saw a frail old man hobbling along. This pitiful sight made him worry about his fate. Now the second question. Pick out a sentence from the story that proves that Madrona is oblivious to magic and believes that keeping one's obligations to work and family is all that one needs. Let's see its answer. I hope my screen is clear to you all as I'm just sharing my screen. So answer is, Madrona is oblivious to magic and believe that keeping one's obligations to work and family is all that one needs. This is evident in the line where she tells her husband, "Hoe your field, or you'll have no crop to harvest and no food for us." Now the third question. Why did the dwarf shut his bright red eyes and hold his breath? Here is your third answer. The dwarf shut his bright red eyes and held his breath because he could not disappear and Mabon could see him. Yes. Now the fourth question. I think you might be one of the fair folk. Why did Mabon willingly help the dwarf after this realization? The answer is, after realizing that the dwarf was one of the fair folk, Mabon willingly helped him because he knew that if a person did a good deed for the fair folk, the latter would also do the person a good deed in return. Now the fifth question. What did Dolly expect Mabon to ask for as a favor? What advice did he give Mabon? Dolly expected Mabon to ask for gold or jewels as a favor. However, he advised Mabon to ask for something practical, like a cook pot which was always brimming with food. Now, the sixth question. Why do you think Madrona called Mabon a selfish fool? Here is your answer. Madrona called Mabon a selfish fool because while he could have asked the dwarf for something that would have benefited the family, but he asked for his eternal youth and got a stone that would stop him from aging instead. This would also result in his wife, children, and grandchildren aging and dying, while he would be the same for all times to come. Now, let us discuss the thing and answer the questions. The first question for this is, in what ways are Mabon and Madrona different? As you have read the chapter already, so you must be knowing that in what ways they both were different. So the answer is, Mabon and Madrona were different, as Mabon believed that magic would solve his problems, while Madrona believed that Mabon should fulfill his obligations to his work and family. Mabon was quite selfish, as he asked for eternal youth for himself and got a stone instead that would stop him from aging. However, Madrona was practical in her outlook, as she explained to Mabon that he may not age further, but she and their children as well as their grandchildren would and age and die, and he would look foolish being younger to them. The second question for this, Mabon is quite a pessimist. Do you agree? Justify your answer. So, as you all know, that we all agree that Mabon was a pessimist. Mabon was quite a pessimist. He saw an old man hobbling and felt disappointed about passing a similar future. He then expected the dwarf to grant him eternal youth and instead got a stone that would stop him from aging further. Even after getting the stone, he was not convinced of its power and threw it in the fireplace, cursing the dwarf as dishonest until he saw the power of stone next day. So here's your third question for this. Initially, Mabon feels cheated, then he calls dwarf generous hearted. Explain the reason for his change of heart. So the answer is, initially, when Mabon did not see or feel any change in his appearance, kindly correct this. I have written CHANG, it should be CHANGE. Initially, when Mabon did not see or feel any change in his appearance, he felt cheated and thought that the dwarf had cheated him, and he even called the latter dishonest. However, when he saw the next morning that his beard had not grown, he realized that the stone had indeed stopped from aging him and blessed the dwarf as generous hearted. Why did Mabon regret asking the dwarf for the stone? How did he try to get rid of the stone? So let us see how he got irritated and how he got worried, and so he wanted to get rid of the stone. So here comes your fourth answer. Although the stone had stopped Mabon from aging, it had stopped the growth of everything around him. The seeds that he had sown did not sprout, leaving his field barren. The eggs did not hatch. The cow did not calve. The wheat did not sprout either. Nor did the apple tree bear any fruit. And no teeth appeared in his baby's mouth, even though he was teething. In frustration, Mabon tried to get rid of the stone by burying it, throwing it in the well, and trying to pound it to dust. However, all his efforts were in vain. So yes, we got to know that how and which all ways he tried to get rid of that stone, because initially his wish had affected everything. Here I have written BUYING, it should be burying. I have missed the letter R. So sometimes it happens while making the notes. So I hope it's clear to everyone. Okay. Alright. I'll come back with the other chapter notes and other topics. Bye bye. Take care.